Alright guys, what's going on? Mouse here. So, 30 billion damage fire guild boss run. Just how did this happen? So, before we begin, I just want to let you guys know that what I did here is a combination of what the community has already figured out in terms of doing this guild boss. The first video that I featured was TypaL's strategy, and then I made some adjustments to it to improve its performance. And now M actually found another very interesting strategy, and I checked that and I figured, oh, that strategy is actually good, and I saw that there are some rooms for improvement as well. And in this video, I'm gonna combine whatever we learned from TypaL, whatever we learned from M, as well as what I know about this guild boss and making optimized builds and strategy. So this is the result: 74 rage count, 29.891 billion damage. So alright, so let's just feature M's video right here, and just to give you a quick summary of what he figured out here is the use of the Night Killer. Bro, your face is blocking the description, bro. What the fuck is this? So yeah, anyway, Night Killer. What the fuck, bro? Where's the description? Your camera is blocking it. Hold on, let me just pull it up in game. Alright, so Night Killer basically adds a total of 24% defense penetration, and then increase damage taken, stacking up to 5 times 2%, so that's 10% increased damage taken. Alright, go back to M's video. Yeah,
the boss takes 10% extra damage,
so that will help as well, improve the overall team damage output.
For this weapon.
Because you're gonna lose, if you're using the bow, you're gonna lose 18% fire damage from the bow, but it will be compensated by that increased damage taken. So go ahead and check out M's channel. Make sure that you subscribe because he's posting a lot of interesting stuff, especially things that people usually miss, and the strategies as well, and unique builds just like this one. So now let's go back here to my own account, and let me just show you the adjustments that I made here. So nothing changed with regards to setup of the artifacts. It's pretty much the same except for Chahe-in, because I used Chahe-in, and the reason why Chahe-in worked better here, although Choi provides penetration as well due to Isil's A4 bug right here that stacks up to who knows what the limit is, but it does detect even the Team B units. Okay, so the reason we don't want to use Choi here anymore is that because with the Night Killer's 24% defense penetration, we are very close to the point wherein we don't need defense decrease anymore. But not only that, this guild boss also has increased resistance to defense decrease, meaning Choi and Anna Ruiz will not be as effective anymore as the rage of the guild boss goes up. And in addition to that, the boss also becomes more tanky with more defense. And with Night Killer here and all of the sources of defense penetration from the passives and the bugs and stuff, that allows us to maintain a big amount of damage no matter what the rage is. Chahe-in also helps a lot here because when you're not using the bow, you're gonna lose the crit rate from the core attack, right? The most damage comes from that core attack with crit rate, and if we don't use that, we won't have enough crit rate anymore, because this guild boss level 90, although it's written as level 90, this is level 80, and in our previous research on this, our 10k to 11k crit rate only resulted to roughly 30% real crit rate because of the level mechanics. Just so you don't know about this yet, as the monster level goes up, the required value increases as well. With regards to the build, the major adjustment here is to even increase the penetration. So let's count the amount of penetration that we already have here. For Gina gives a penetration 4% to Jinwoo. And Isil right here has a passive as well at A4, which gives 4% penetration per fire team member. However, we found out recently that it does not only stack up to 3 times, but actually stacks up to whatever times. So we have around 16% from that. So we already have 20% total defense penetration. And from Emma, we're also gonna get 7.77% defense penetration. So that's 27%. Let's just say 28% defense penetration. And from Jinwoo, we are using Armset, which has 18%. So that's gonna be 46% total defense penetration. And we also have the Night Killer, of course, that gives us 24%. So that is gonna be 70% penetration. And now for Jinwoo, we have 44.43% defense penetration. Why do we have 44 when we already have 70? Again, the required stat value increases as the monster's level increase. So this one is not gonna be an actual 44.3%. And to get this, we will use BRRR's SLA formulary to check the actual defense penetration against certain monster levels. It's not very accurate yet because BRR was not able to fix the formula before when we found the mistake on this, but it is gonna be close enough. So here, once we use the 44% stats defense penetration against a level 80 monster, we're getting 32.31% actual defense penetration. So I increased it to 44% due to the margin of error, but I think this is gonna be very, very close enough to complete that complete defense penetration against that guild boss. Okay, so now with that build, we are able to maximize the full damage of Jinwoo. And as you can see here, the stat 44% defense penetration, damage increase is only 7.37%. And with this, we also adjusted into a fully focused DPS Song Jinwoo. So we adjusted the intelligence to 220 so that we can use the Intuit. We're still using the Boss Slayer, and then we have Sharp Perception. And one thing to take note of here is the precision of SR weapon is lower than an SSR weapon by 2000. So we also have to adjust the precision. That's why it is now 80 perception here to be very close to 18.7k precision needed for a level 80 monster. So if you want to learn more about the details about the entire build, I do have a video already on this which featured the bow, which apparently will be weaker. I would say this is already the meta. Night Killer is the meta right now, and it's a really helpful find by M. Now let's take a look at our replay here.
つまらない相手だな消えろ